would like to discuss how to make a drawn object look three-dimensional by using outline, contour, shading, and by providing a shadow, a drawn bottle can take on a three-dimensional form. After choosing the bottle you would like to draw, and I chose this one here, in setting it in a spot where it's easy to see, you can begin by drawing the outline. The outline is the first element of the object that you would begin with. The outline is a line that follows the outer surface around the object, in this case a bottle. And this is the outline here. And it just follows the surface of the bottle around the outside. I chose to draw the outline of this bottle a little thicker and darker than I normally would so that you can see it. The outline will give a bottle a definite shape and provide interior space and the exterior space around it. So this is the interior space that's in the bottle, and the exterior space is around the outline. The interior space is where we will put in the contour lines after the outline is completed. The contour lines here are to be drawn second within the perimeters of the outlines. While the outlines provide a shape of the bottle as a whole, the contour lines show the shape of the bottle's parts. The contour lines show the roundness and the depths of the curves in certain areas. For example, this line here, right here, will show the roundness at the top of the bottle, while the contour lines at the base of the bottle, down here, show the thickness of the base of the bottle. The contour lines will also show anything that decorates the objects. The labels on the bottle will show as the contour lines. So the labels that are on here, the top and the bottom, there will be a contour line that follows around these on the one that you're drawing on the paper. The third element to provide in a drawing is the shading, and that's contained within. The shading will emphasize the shape of the bottle, making it appear rounder and more realistic. Shading adds in the darks and the lights. The lightest areas are provided by the reflection from the light source. In this case, the lightest areas were coming in from the front, so the highlights are in the middle of the front of the bottle. And the highlights would be here. As you can see, they're the lightest areas, and the light source was coming in from the front. You would also shade the inside of the bottle at the base, which would appear darkest. And the shading down here at the bottom would appear darker because it is on the inside of the bottle and not on the outside, which would appear lighter. The labels on the bottle will appear as one shade, unless there's a shine off of it or a dark shadow on it. In this case, there wasn't any, and so it appears as one shade of gray. As the labels here, and was shaded as one color. There was a little shadow on each side, and so that's indicated on the drawing, but other than that, it's one color, or one shade. After putting in the shadow, you would then put, or the shading, you would then put in the shadow. The shadow is the last element that needs to be put in the drawing. The shadow will be found on the opposite side of the bottle from where the light source is located. When the light shines on the bottle, it can't pass through, so a dark area forms just behind called a shadow. And so the light source was coming from this way, which is indicated by the highlighted areas we had covered before. And because the light can't pass through, a shadow is formed just behind, and is indicated by this area right here. A shadow is used in a picture to ground the object. If you don't ground the object, it will appear to be floating in mid-air. And so if I take away the shadow, and it doesn't really ground the object, there's just space around it. And if it is there, it grounds it, it gives it something to sit on. The shadow will anchor the bottle in the drawing and make it seem to pop out of the paper further. As we discussed, a drawn object can look three-dimensional by putting in an outline, the contours, shading, and a shadow. These four elements can be found in any realistically drawn object. As you can see, by applying these elements to the bottle, it looks three-dimensional and seems to pop out of the page. I would like to thank you for taking the time to learn how to draw a realistic bottle, and have a great night.